Hi, my name is Frédéric JEHAN from EGIS in France, and today I'll be sharing EGIS experience on the use of ArcGIS products for a 5D WebGIS platform in order to manage a very large and complex urban renewal project in the city of Angers in France. In order to guide you through this presentation, I will first give you the context of the project, how the work was implemented by EGIS, and finally give you a heads up on the outcomes of the project and its lessons. We'll now start with the context of the project. Angers is a historical city in the western part of France and has its origin and importance as it was the birthplace of one of the royal families which ruled France from the 15th century. It lost some of its importance since then, even though there are still many historical monuments to be visited, and is quite close to the Loire Valley Chateau. Nowadays, it has a direct TGV rail connection to Paris, which is 2 hours away. Administratively speaking, Angers is organized as a municipality which had a population of 150,000 inhabitants as of 2016 census, for an area of roughly 43 square kilometers, as well as a metropolitan agency, which includes 29 municipalities around Angers. The metropolitan population was 293,000 inhabitants, for an area of 666 square kilometers. The name of the metropolitan agency is Angers Loire Métropole. In 2018, Angers Loire Métropole signed a convention with the National Agency for Urban Renewal under the National Programme for Urban Renewal, meant at rehabilitating deprived urban areas. Belbey and Montplaisir, two districts of Angers, were selected under the program. The overall budget for the project is 400 million euros, which is roughly 450 million US dollar, and split between multiple actors at the local or the national level, as well as private or public. The project is to mandatorily end by 2024. Here are a few details about the magnitude of the project. The district of Montplaisir is having 368 buildings that have to be demolished and 1,470 social accommodations to be renovated. Belbey, on the other side, is having 623 buildings to be demolished and 1,318 social accommodation to be renovated. The main objectives of the NPNRU program is to help bring solutions to urban deprived areas. It works on providing social mix, provide services and facilities to residential areas, and to bring businesses and residents closer. This brings challenges to the urban renewal project as it pushes to find ways to create an affordable offer outside the priority districts. It pushes to coordinate closely with other ongoing projects, such as the tramway construction, with stringent deadlines, as well as integrate the two districts within the whole urban structure. The NPNRU project is mobilizing 13 actors from various backgrounds, which brings a high complexity in coordinating planning, scheduling, and financing. In front of such complexity, Angers Loire Métropole decided to request the assistance of a project management office from the private sector. EGIS was selected after answering a tender in which a revolutionary use of GIS was proposed as a way to handle the challenge to manage 700 projects running in parallel or in cascade. EGIS is a major international group in the construction, engineering, and mobility services sectors, whose unique global service range encompasses infrastructure, consulting, engineering, and operation. Through its capacity for innovation, EGIS responds to the climate emergency and to the greatest challenges of our time by offering solutions and acknowledged know-how in the areas of transportation and mobility, sustainable city construction, buildings, water, the environment, and energy. EGIS is a 75% owned subsidiary of Caisse des Dépôts, with the remaining 25% held by partner executive and employees. EGIS imagines a sustainable future working for population and social progress. In 2019, EGIS had a 1.22 billion euros turnover for an employee population of 15,800. We'll now deep dive into the technical presentation of the ArcGIS 5D WebGIS implementation. Even though the system didn't use the third dimension in the present project, Aegis used temporal and budget elements in the platform, which brings us to call it a 5D solution. I will now describe the different elements and interfaces that we have put in place within the Angers Urban Renewal project. The platform is built on a PostgreSQL database as its core engine. The solution is built around four main components, which are namely a client WebGIS, which is the client's ArcGIS portal meant to share data with the Aegis solution designed for the project. The second component is the project ArcGIS portal. The third is the planning tool on MS Project. And the fourth is a customized Aegis web solution for data entry and report generation. As mentioned earlier, the 2024 project deadline is extremely stringent and has some tremendous financial implications if not met. If ever the project is not completed by that date, the NPNRU program would not finance what has not been completed. Therefore, MS Project is a tool that was chosen by Aegis in order to compile planning information about those 700 sub-projects, from demolition to building to infrastructure preparation, etc. MS Project by Microsoft has been chosen as the project management software, as it is a powerful tool, and as it is commonly used by Angers Loire Métropole and Aegis. Thanks to this tool, project managers and planners can organize and manage projects, its resources and its budget. It provides the capacity to link tasks together, define hierarchical rules between them, and provide Gantt charts. Within the scope of the project, the planning information has to be integrated into the centralized GIS database in order to be linked to a spatial entity on the map. This planning data is then transferred to the centralized GIS database thanks to a scheduled customized ETL Python script. A system of data archiving was also set up by defining triggers in our Postgres GIS database. It is to be noted that the data is only going from MS Project to the GIS database. The next component in our overall solution was a web platform for the user to consult information, as well as enter certain information during meetings. This web platform was directly connected to the GIS database. This platform is currently used during follow-up meetings between Aegis and the client. This platform allows all parties to modify all tables into the database based on the user permissions. It was set up at the request of the client, who was not interested to fill up project status updates on a GIS tool. The next component is the major component of the overall solution. This is the WebGIS that was prepared on ArcGIS Portal 10.6, which is using information from the two previous components centralized and analyzed through the GIS database. The added value of the WebGIS is that it allows project managers and planners to identify spatial conflicts between tasks that would not have been highlighted by a planning tool otherwise. On the ArcGIS portal for Enterprise, we prepared web maps through the Web Map Application Builder, making use of the Web App Builder. The web map is dedicated to registered users only through a secured access. There are around 30 such registered users. Moreover, the tool provides information on the overall project in a synthetic and easy to understand manner to the end user. I'm now going to present to you a few of the functionalities of the WebGIS that was prepared. The first WebGIS is dedicated to an urban project coordination, as well as an overall coordination with other projects which scope was outside of the NPNRU Urban Renewal project, but spatially overlapping. Thanks to the planning information stored in the centralized GIS database from entries into MS Project, the user can spatially view which sub-project is or will be active at what date. The slide presents a monthly time slider that was set up by Aegis in order to analyze which project phase, such as demolition, construction, or residence relocation, would be happening when. The user can select the time range that he or she wants and even focus on a specific project phase. The current slide presents in a user-friendly manner the percentage of population that is already relocated with respect to the overall population to be relocated from buildings that are to be demolished. If this phase is delayed, the whole project can be jeopardized as demolition cannot start and reconstruction as well. This slide presents the difference between planning and the current status of each sub-project. On the left-hand side, we highlight the difference between the original planning and the current status, while on the right-hand side, we present the difference between the revised planning and the current status. In green, it shows that the sub-project is on track. Light yellow shows a delay between 2 and 6 months, orange between 6 and 18 months, and red is above 18 months. This web map helps the user in highlighting on a map where issues are happening and for which project. Clicking on the project on the map gives all necessary details for the project manager and the planners to take actions. These delays are difficult to track on traditional planning tools. The web map is also helping the user in retrieving specific information from the centralized GIS database. All information collected from various sources will be displayed for each sub-project. This is valid for information entered during the follow-up meetings, latest planning information as well as budget and its details. It is to be noted that thanks to a centralized database, Aegis is now in a position to create automatic monthly reports concerning each of the sub-projects. A scheduled Python script generates on the first of every month an individual report for each of the 700 sub-projects. These reports are part of an official deliverable to the client. A second WebGIS was set up in order to coordinate the work with other projects handled by other organizations. As such, a traffic management plan has been prepared to anticipate disruptions due to works in the area. The corresponding information is integrated into the GIS database. The web map presents traffic options such as one-ways, roadblocks, etc. A time slider functionality has also been added and helps the user in knowing which are the roads that will be blocked at certain dates and which are the ones that will be opened. The fourth and last component of the solution is the portal sharing between Loire Métropole and Aegis. The step will be managed at a later stage when both the users are on the same version of ArcGIS Enterprise Portal. Now that the functionalities and their implementations have been presented, it is time to conclude and present lessons from the project. What are the lessons learned from this project? Well, on things that could be improved, the number of tools present is quite high. Web map settings limitation, such as contextual windows, layers group, didn't help and surprised the end users as to what could be done. Presenting phasing plan as images along a time slider didn't work out and is only feasible in version 10.7. It prevented us from implementing this functionality even if it was requested by the end user. On the bright side, the centralized database for which information was entered through various means was a real success and a proven example of how collaborative and interoperable platforms can work. The impact on the project management was a real success, and all project managers and planners adopted the solution and saw a new trend in project management. The tool proved to be a significant time saver as all data is in one place and allows to generate reports in an automatic manner. Another aspect that is quite interesting to all, from the client to the project management side, is that the platform is transparent to all stakeholders and allows information to flow smoothly between all. All this wouldn't have been possible if domain experts and GIS professionals from Aegis had not been working hand in hand on implementing this one-of-a-kind solution. The continuous support and interest from Loire Métropole in the implementation of the platform was also a key in the success of this solution. As mentioned before, the next step for this ongoing project will be to share ArcGIS portals between Aegis and the client. As for the solution, there are multiple actors that are interested in the approach and in the platform itself. I have listed a few comments from the client, Angers Loire Métropole, about what the solution in place brought to the project. Putting all actors around a common digital table, bringing awareness, and working on a project mode are the key messages they wanted to put forward. On this final note, I would like to thank you all for paying attention to this presentation. I sincerely hope it brought light on what GIS products associated with other tools can bring to project management and gave you light on what Aegis can do. If you have further questions on the work that was done, do not hesitate to contact Angers Loire Métropole GIS Department at sig@angersloiremetropole.fr or myself at frédéric.JEHAN@aegis.fr. Have a great ESRI web conference and see you all soon.